I'm here in California, and today we are going to be asking Americans if they support mass deportations or not. We are starting the video off here in San Diego, and then we'll be moving down to the border where migrants are actually coming into the United States via the CBP One App, then moving to Los Angeles, where they are now a self-declared sanctuary city. And we will also be speaking with one of the mayors of these towns to see how this mass deportation effort is actually going to happen, especially in these blue states like California. And now that Donald Trump is president-elect, he is starting to build his cabinet and will try to fulfill his campaign promises, one of those being mass deportations, and he has chosen Tom Homan to be the new border czar, replacing Kamala Harris. And Tom Homan has been very outspoken on fulfilling this promise of mass deportations. On 60 Minutes, when asked about mass deportations, this is what he said.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
This is going to be super interesting as we're going to get lots of different opinions from people here in California. And this video will include a sponsorship by Prize Picks. And now let's start asking people here if they support mass deportations or if they do not. Now that Donald Trump is president-elect, he said he's going to have the largest mass deportation effort in American history. Do you support mass deportations?
No, I don't support Donald Trump.
What should happen with all the illegal immigrants that came into the country these past few years?
I think you should follow the law, and they should fix the border in Congress like they did, and he didn't let it pass.
So if somebody comes over the wall illegally, should they be allowed to stay in the United States or should they be deported?
Well, it depends what if they're doing drugs or they're criminals, no. If they want asylum, they're running away from being killed or something, maybe.
So how do we know whether or not they're here to sell drugs, here seeking asylum?
Well, somebody has to ask them or check into it. Or.
And do you think we can trust somebody if they say they are seeking asylum, knowing that there are over 10 million?
So you're a Donald Trump person.
I'm just asking you the questions.
Yeah, I could tell. Bye.
Okay. Do you guys support mass deportations?
No, definitely not.
Do you support mass deportations?
No, only criminals. Only criminal must be deported.
Do you support mass deportations?
No.
What should Donald Trump do now that he's president-elect?
He should go away. Period. Done.
Do you support mass deportations?
I don't know how I feel about that, honestly.
For people that came into the country illegally, do you support them being deported or should they stay here in the United States?
Oh, they should probably go.
Do you guys support mass deportations?
No, not at all.
And what should happen to all the people that are coming across the border illegally?
I mean, I don't know a whole lot about the policies that he's implementing or anything about a whole lot of politics. I just don't support how he's encouraging other people to treat immigrants in a way that it's not with any dignity.
Right now there's millions of migrants that came in just these past 4 years alone. And so there is an issue and there are criminals that are here. Would you support the deportation of criminals, migrants?
I mean, they have to go through a process.
Yeah.
But we also have a lot of criminals here in the United States.
Have you guys heard about the Laken Riley story?
No.
So she was a Georgia student. She was a nursing student at Georgia. She went for a run in the morning and she was killed by an illegal immigrant who crossed the border illegally. And that same migrant was also living...
that happens, though. It's not just illegal immigrants. And I feel that's the focus, with whatever it is that he's saying, but it's not just illegal immigrants here, kidnapping or murdering people.
Yeah, and we aren't saying that every migrant is a criminal.
I understand, but that's kind of the point that you're trying to get across right now and trying to justify the whole mass deportation thing, because it's a lot deeper than all that.
But say that person never came to the country, she would still be alive. And so by protecting the borders, do you think
the way that criminals here that are U.S. citizens, born and raised, kill and murder people too, a lot of our mass shootings in America have been done by Americans.
Yeah.
That's, and we still
So we should still allow criminals across the border then?
That's not what I'm saying.
Kind of is.
It's not what I'm saying.
So say someone avoids the process of going through a port of entry and they cross over the border illegally.
I don't want to talk about this anymore because we don't agree. We're not going to agree. We're not going to come to an understanding. So I think I'm just done with this interview.
I'm not even giving my stance on this. I'm just asking them, going one level deeper into the questions, and people are just getting mad for whatever reason. Do you support a criminal that comes across the border illegally or not? Simple question. Now that Donald Trump is president-elect, he's saying he's going to have the largest mass deportation effort in American history. Do you support mass deportations?
If they came here illegally, yes.
So we just talked to a girl right here, and I asked her, if they come over the country illegally, do you support them? And she went on a tangent talking about how there's already criminals here inside the United States.
Sure.
But if they come over the border illegally, should they be deported or not?
Illegally? Correct. They should be gone. It's just like your house. All these folks that say they want it open, lock their doors. And if you were to have people say, well, I would just want to be here. You have a nice house. It's a good place to be. I think I should be here. If they don't come with permission, then that's not okay. So it's kind of hypocritical of them to have one set of rules for where they live and a different set if it doesn't really affect them.
It came out the other day that the murder of Laken Riley, he obviously came over the border illegally. He was being housed inside migrant shelters for completely free, then given a free flight to Georgia. Would you say one migrant crime is one too many?
Yeah, I think if it's illegal crossing, it's just a basic premise. We live in a time where people want to do away with rules and law and make exception for this, that, or the other. Wrong is still wrong. And unfortunately, we're getting away from that as a society. That's a real problem.
What do you do for work?
I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher, and would you let the school keep all the doors unlocked and let anybody come in?
No, we lock those. We have security measures for the protection of the students that are supposed to be there.
And so why do you think a lot of these people, we're talking to a lot of people here on this boardwalk right here, they're for people living here even if they come over the border illegally? How does that make sense?
It doesn't. Unfortunately, our education system has failed people for a lot of years, and I see it firsthand. People are telling people what to think instead of how to think and how to critically analyze.
All right, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you guys know that I love PrizePicks, and PrizePicks is actually the sponsor of this video. With over 10 million active members, PrizePicks is the most exciting and easiest way to play daily fantasy sports. You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. And I'm excited to hook you guys up with a sweet deal. When you download PrizePicks and use code Shirley and put in at least $5, you're gonna get $50 on your first lineup. You do not even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks is the best way to win real money this football season. I personally love how simple the PrizePicks app is. You choose your players, create your lineup, and go more or less on that player's set projection, and you get your payout. And this week on PrizePicks, Tyreek Hill only needs to receive 0.5 receiving yards for the projection to hit. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win real cash. Download the app today and use code Shirley to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Super simple. Check them out, PrizePicks, and use code Shirley. All right, you guys, let's keep asking the people here if they support mass deportations or not, and we still have to go interview the mayor of one of these cities to see how he thinks this is all going to happen here inside America. Before we go speak with the mayor and go to LA, where they just became a sanctuary city, I wanted to go to the border where migrants are still actively coming in via the CBP One App and ask them if they fear mass deportations. Now that Donald Trump will become the president here in the United States, are you worried about being deported?
Sí, pues sí, la verdad sí, pues como en las noticias igual han salido pues que no van a dejar pasar, que van a cerrar la aplicación de CBP One y pues más que nada pues.
Are you guys worried about becoming deported once he's inaugurated as president?
Sí, igual uno sigue como con el mismo miedo siempre, pues, porque uno por más que todo no se quiere regresar a su país en las condiciones en las que está.
So, if you guys are deported back to Venezuela, will Venezuela accept you guys?
No quiere aceptar por si tenemos el documento vencido, todas esas cosas, pues.
Wow, so Donald Trump may want to deport everybody, but he's not going to send them back to Venezuela because Venezuela is actually not even accepting their own citizens. And that is true. Venezuela is not accepting their own citizens, which may pose as an obstacle for Trump and Tom Homan. Another obstacle for mass deportations will be sanctuary cities. And with LA rushing to become a sanctuary city, I went to speak with the residents about the new news. Why do you think Los Angeles would want to declare themselves as a sanctuary city?
I don't know if you're gonna like my answer.
I want it.
Okay, because it's a bunch of liberals. I mean, it's what it is.
Yeah. And why would you support mass deportation?
Because it's illegal. It'd be just like if I got a DWI and was driving a car. It's illegal. I'd go to jail.
Do you think a lot of people are being too compassionate on this issue when they say, well, we should just let them stay in here and give them the chance? Meanwhile, they did cross the border illegally?
Sure. I mean, you can't go into any other country illegally on this planet. So, I mean, why would we be any different?
Why do you think the United States has allowed this to happen these past 4 years?
Man, I don't know. I really don't. Idiots. That's the only thing I can say. I mean, just want me to be honest. That's about sums it up, you know?
With all these illegal immigrants that have came into the country, what should happen to them if they did cross over the border illegally?
Nothing. I mean, Slay, Anna Delvey did it. Like, you know, let's have people come in. the more the merrier. I mean, it does not say RSVP on a Statue of Liberty.
So how should people come into the country?
However they can. I mean, I think that also our immigration laws should be different too as well. I feel like they're a lot
easier to become
yeah,
a citizen for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would you sleep with your doors open?
I mean, no, I live in LA.
They're unlocked all the time.
I live in LA.
Would you let anybody sleep inside your house?
No.
He sleeps in my house all the time. So, I mean, sure.
So would you let somebody live inside your home for 4 years for completely free? Give them free rent, free clothes, free phones?
I've done it before.
Yeah, we both have.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Really?
Yeah.
4 years?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Ex-relationships, for
I
sure.
literally had an ex-fiance that I was living with for 4 years, so.
Okay, would you let a random stranger walk into your door in the middle of the night and stay inside your house for 4 years?
Well, we're lucky that America doesn't have any walls or doors.
And we're not in Murphy's Law yet, right? Or something like that. Or like martial law where they like start just letting the army come in or whatever. You know, I mean, I would have to get to know them. Like a good like, hi, how are you? What's your name? But then after, I mean, it's always negotiable.
Do you know who Tom Homan is?
No, but I know Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland. He's quite the guy. And Tom Homan is the new border czar. So he's replacing Kamala Harris in her duties of the border. And he says he's going to stop the flow of illegal immigrants. And if states do not comply, he's going to come in and do whatever it takes to get the job done as far as deporting these migrants. Would you be willing to house migrants inside your home so they don't get deported?
I mean, yeah, if they vibe, like, why not? Like, as long as I got a home.
Like as long as they vibe, right?
Yeah.
What would pass the vibe check?
I mean, the vibe check is like not being like a weirdo, like not stealing my stuff, like, you know, like getting a job or something. I don't know, like living and doing what you came here to do and like figuring it out and being respectful in my home. I mean, why would I turn down doors to anyone? I wouldn't turn doors down to like a baby.
Would you let criminals stay inside your home for completely free?
Well, it depends on the criminal charge. Like, what is it, like grand larceny, or is it like petty theft, or is it like drug dealing, is it like weed smoking?
Just drug dealing.
I mean, it depends on the drug dealing as well, because I mean, it's
like
LA.
Just fentanyl.
Fentanyl, I mean, I'm not trying to be with someone that's a murderer. Yeah, of course, I wouldn't, yeah.
Okay, what if they were just, like, selling blood?
Are they like a vampire or something? Because I'm the slayer. Like, I don't know. But, I mean, it depends. Like, everything is circumstantial. Things can't just be so black and white. And I feel like that's the biggest problem with America, is that there's not a lot of gray.
Los Angeles is now a sanctuary city. Do you support mass deportations?
Actually, I do support that in so many ways. Hell yeah.
And why so?
Because I think a lot of people come over here and they take advantage of a lot of opportunities. There are people that are naturally here, and when they come over here, it kind of wears out everything, and it's not enough for people that are born here or actually here illegally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why do you think Los Angeles would declare itself a sanctuary city? They voted unanimously for it.
Well, I mean, it depends on who's in, office that do support that, but I say that there's a lot of people that come over here illegally, and when they come over here, they do take advantage of a lot of opportunities, and that leave us with nothing. So I'll say that it leaves us with very many options, no options at all. So I think that it's okay for send them back where they come from, and they need to come over here legally.
Mm-hmm. Do you support mass deportations?
Not at all. Absolutely not.
Why do you not support mass deportations? If someone comes in the country illegally, what should happen to them?
If they come into the country illegally, I think they should be protected, of course.
Illegally, if they come in illegally.
Yes.
Protect them if they break the law?
Protect them if they break the law. Yes, if they're humans that are leaving a country that they're in danger of. If they're in danger and they need to leave their country because they need to be protected, of course they should be protected here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Of course.
Do you think the world should have no borders?
Yes.
What do you think about Los Angeles becoming a sanctuary city?
I love it. That's why I live here.
And why do you love Los Angeles becoming a sanctuary city?
It's just somewhere safe that you can be. There's so many states right now who are going through so much. Women are going to suffer so much. This is just the beginning of everything that happened once Trump won. So it's sad.
How did you feel when Donald Trump won the election?
I honestly have a house in Mexico. And if it keeps getting worse, I'm going to go stay over there for 4 years.
And why do you not support mass deportations?
We need as many immigrants as we can here. We come here to work. I was an immigrant also. I was able to get, I'm a citizen now, but I did it the right way. but I feel like we don't come here to take nobody's jobs. If Trump wants to deport people, then he needs to figure out how he's gonna have his hotels cleaned. Who's gonna wash the dishes in the restaurants? Who's going to pick our crops? Who's gonna do it? Nobody else wants to do it.
Do you think there would be other people that would do it if the jobs were available?
If the job was available for people from here,
Yeah.
they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. I have this job and I clean people's houses. Who's the one that cleans the most people's houses? Are Hispanics, are immigrants.
Yeah. Do you support mass deportations?
Do I support them? I don't personally have an opinion. If it's what's best for America, then I guess maybe that is what has to be done. I don't know. It's not my field. I never studied immigration.
Say a mayor or a governor or a president is elected by United States citizens. Do you think they should put them first over somebody who comes over the border illegally?
I would think yes, of course.
Why do you think some of these cities aren't doing that? Why do you think they're not putting American citizens first?
It's a good question, that needs to be asked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
I guess that they honestly believe that that's a good thing for some reason.
Specifically talking about the people that came across the border illegally, or if they came into the United States illegally in any form or any matter, should they be deported or not?
No. I think there should be a pathway to citizenship. We should find an easier way to do that if they've already been here. And if you're talking about illegal immigrants or migrants that are helping our economy, let's find a pathway to citizenship that works for everybody.
Los Angeles just declared themselves a sanctuary city. Do you support mass deportations?
No.
What should happen with all these migrants that recently came in the United States?
I don't have the answer. I don't know what the answer is. But mass deportations is a ridiculous response.
Do you think that's racist by Donald Trump to do that?
Should I say of course? Of course, yes.
Do you think it is a race thing, or do you think it's more of like Donald Trump's point of view might be, well, they came into the country illegally, they broke the law, we should treat them as if they were criminals?
So can I speak freely on this?
Yeah, of course.
I absolutely think that Donald Trump doesn't care one way or the other. He doesn't care if they're white or black or Hispanic. I don't think he cares. I think all he cares about is making a statement. And if they can't help him, then that's why they're gone.
After speaking with a wide variety of Americans, it is now time to speak with a mayor who is a government official who will be able to tell us exactly what will happen and what we can expect to see with mass deportations, especially in these blue states. Pay close attention because what he does say is very shocking and very informative. Who are you?
I'm Bill Willis, the mayor of the city of El Cajon, which is in San Diego.
All right, so Donald Trump is president-elect right now.
Isn't that fantastic?
Are you feeling good about that?
I feel really good about that. After 4 years of this darkness, I think it's great to be coming out of it and seeing some common sense come back to politics.
Mm-hmm. And you live in a blue state, California.
I do.
Gavin Newsom. And right now, Donald Trump, him and Tom Homan, the new border czar, they're saying they're going to have the largest mass deportation effort in American history. How does that play out in the state of California and across America?
Well, I think the state of California is posturing that they're going to not cooperate. And, Los Angeles County or the city of Los Angeles just said today that they're going to be a sanctuary city and they're not going to cooperate. I don't think that's going to work. I mean, it's pretty clear that federal law supersedes state law. And so we're not going to cooperate. The city of El Cajon is going to cooperate with the federal government because they are the governing authority.
And you, as the mayor of this town, what involvement will you have with the mass deportations? Will you have to report any numbers, or will you be willing to help the new border czar and Donald Trump?
Well, right now in California, we're not allowed to have any communication with ICE or with the Border Patrol at all. So if we were to arrest somebody that was under indictment for some other crime, we couldn't tell ICE that they were here even if we knew. In fact, we're not even allowed to ask them. But I think that's going to change. I assume that the federal government is going to say that the new rules are that we're supposed to help. Mm-hmm. And once the federal government says we're supposed to help, we're definitely going to do whatever the federal government says, even if the state of California tells us we shouldn't. Because, like I said, federal law supersedes state law. We're going to follow the rule of law. The first deportations are going to be the 1.5 million people that have been let in that have criminal problems, that have committed crimes in the United States or committed crimes in their home countries. I think that the first thing that we have to do is find all those people, deport those people that are criminals, and then be working really hard to find the 300,000 kids that we know have been sucked into the sex trafficking world. That's going to be the first order of business. I don't see how anybody can resent that process. And unfortunately, Democrats are doing everything they can to try to circumvent that process, which doesn't make any sense to me. We just had the sentencing of Laken Riley's killer today, and they read from her diary. It broke my heart. And this is the reality of the criminal aliens that have come in. They're committing these kind of crimes against innocent American citizens, and we should make sure that doesn't happen again to another family.
And so how hard will it be for Donald Trump and Tom Homan to come in here and into the state of California and start deporting people?
Look, I think what's going to happen is they're going to have to hold California hostage with federal money. California can be stubborn, and I don't know how we're going to get California to do the right thing unless you withhold health and human services money, you withhold transportation money, you withhold all the federal money and say to California, fine, if you don't want to cooperate, don't cooperate, but we're not going to participate. And then California will collapse because we're already $80 billion in the red right now.
Really?
Yeah.
And so if they stop giving federal money to the state of California, then at that point they would have to comply with Donald Trump.
I think they tap out. I think it's like an MMA match where it would put them in a chokehold where they had no ability to sustain the government here anymore if they didn't have the federal money.
And do you think they will be successful with this mass deportation effort?
I do. I think they have the will to succeed. I don't think when Donald Trump came in 2016, he had good ideas, but I don't think he had anywhere the will to succeed that he has right now. I think by attacking him the way you've attacked him over the past 4 years, trying to take away his life, trying to put him in prison for the rest of his life, destroy his business, destroy his family, I think he's not playing anymore. And you see that in the cabinet appointments that he's brought in. Every single person that's on this cabinet means business. I think you're going to see things happen at a lightning pace that you've never seen happen in American politics before.
Things are really going to start getting interesting very, very soon. Make sure you guys are subscribed and give this video a like, and I'll be reading your comments down below. This is Nick, and I'll see you next video.